You could call it a hidden gem. Game Changer Sports has been around for 4 years now, but the schooling aspect was in its first year when COVID-19 caused shutdowns. And while other parents and students were left picking up the pieces at home, Game Changer says their system allowed for a smooth transition.
What our mission is to make your athlete a better student.
Game Changer Sports has introduced a new and innovative style of schooling for student athletes here in the Valley.
We have taken the homeschool aspect and we put a brick and mortar around it with a training facility.
Their academy started last year and is considered a public charter sponsored by CCSD. They work with middle school students grades 6 through 8 with hands-on training to help them excel on their current sports teams and to prepare them for high school athletics.
Our school right now comprises of hockey, football, basketball, baseball, soccer. We have tennis, we have volleyball.
But they also emphasize that academics come first.
Out of our 40 kids, our kids all averaged a 3.0.
We actually take the time to learn, but at the same time we're able to work out down here and actually get the training in to help us get better in the future.
And before accepting a new student, Game Changer says they interview the student and that student's family to make sure they're dedicated to the program.
We're here for these kids to really enhance their overall future. Regardless of what they do in sports, we want to make them better people.
All of their teachers are accredited and have an athletic background.
We open with 40 kids, so we have 20 kids downstairs training and 20 kids upstairs in the classroom, always maintaining a 1 to 10 teacher to student ratio.
And when COVID-19 caused schools all over to shut down and regroup, even in their first year of operation, Game Changers Academy didn't miss a beat.
Actually, before everybody shut down, we shut down and went into our Zoom classes and kept everything moving.
And you guys were training and doing, classes and workouts all via Zoom?
All via Zoom. We just switched over and transitioned directly into it and had no problems at all.
Now, moving on to the Raiders. Now, yesterday we showed you that the Raiders brass had walked into their beautiful new digs. Of course, I'm talking about the HQ, the headquarters out there in Henderson. But, folks, that's not all that's going on with the Silver and Black. Our Jesse Merrick has more.
Yeah, Brian, as we inch closer and closer to football season, more and more Raiders are making themselves at home here in Vegas, like Raiders first-round pick Henry Ruggs, who just found himself a home here in the Valley. Apparently easy work for the top pick, whose realtor said he sealed the deal in the first place he saw. Then after that, he took to the skies to check out his new city, linking up with Maverick helicopters for a tour of the town. But that's not all that's going down with the Raiders. We've seen them putting in work at a local park, but chances are we won't be seeing much of this for the time being because the NFL Players Association has asked players to stop group workouts in response to increased coronavirus cases among NFL players. So far, the Raiders have reported no positive tests. One thing is clear, though, the work they put in is paying off.
We're here at this mountain, in which Renfro and Foster say they can conquer in 5 minutes.
Because Raiders tight end Foster Moreau, who's about 6 months removed from a major knee injury that cut his season short last year, feels good enough to race his teammate Hunter Renfro up a mountain. Yeah, long story short, Foster won with just about 5 seconds to spare. No doubt that knee is looking just fine.
He made it. Foster did it.
5 seconds left.
Foster with 5 seconds left made it.
So that's a round of golf, a race up a mountain in the temperatures that we've seen here recently. Yeah, I'd say that Moreau is ready to go. So am I. So Brian, I'll toss it back to you, man.
This all transpired on Friday when attorney Dave Crosby says that he received a message from a mechanic saying that he had found a skull on the Northwest Las Vegas property. The mechanic then brought the remains here and police came to investigate.
He says, I found a skull. I don't know what to do with it. I said, where did you find it? And he said, it was in between the 2 bucket seats.
The mechanic was showing the Ford van to a potential buyer at an estate Crosby represents.
He says, well, it's been sawed in half, and one of the halves that had been sawed in half was crushed.
That wasn't the only thing that seemed odd.
He thought it had sulfuric acid on it, and he wrote me an email and says, I think my fingers are dissolving.
Police told Crosby that was probably formaldehyde. Crosby says the son and father who owned the estate passed away more than a year ago.
It was stacked with so much junk and so much stuff. Nobody could get in, and we had a caretaker that was the administrator of the 2 estates, and she would go in occasionally, but she didn't really, she left it to whoever was going to buy the place to do the cleanup.
You know that you knew them well enough. Did you think they could do anything weird?
I had, well, I don't want to say much because they were a little bit strange. But I don't say that in the sense that they could have been persons that would commit a murder or anything like that.
The mechanic brought the remains in a box to Crosby's office after the discovery on Friday, and Metro and the coroner came by to gather more information.
Homicide showed up. That's what they had told me, is that they don't show up unless it's human.
Metro told News 3 they don't believe the remains are connected to a homicide.
Do you think that this school could be linked to the previous owners?
Yeah, they were the only ones that could have put it in there, as far as I know.
The Deaf Centers of Nevada say they get requests almost daily for special masks, and they even have a waiting list. They say these masks are a necessity for the deaf community. While out at the grocery store or running errands, it's become normal to see folks wearing masks to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. For the deaf and hard of hearing, it could be problematic. Masks cover people's mouths, which then prevents the deaf and hard of hearing from being able to lip read. Many deaf people are asking for special masks like these, which have a clear covered opening. However, the Deaf Centers of Nevada say it ran out back in April and they haven't been able to get any more from their supplier. They say these masks are essential.
Our general population does not understand the necessity of these plastic mouth guards for our community. This is the struggle that we face every day due to COVID-19, with the lack of lip reading and everything. So providing these masks to our community actually lessens that burden a little bit.
Tim Smalley says some of their staff members have even made some of their own special masks to give out to members. Coming up at 6, hear what you can do to help a deaf person trying to communicate in public. I'm Kyle Wilcox, News 3.